O'clock on Monday, the 23rd of January. You're listening to The Run Home right here on SENZ, and we have exciting news to announce today that SENZ has signed a deal with the One New Zealand Warriors to be the club's official radio partner in New Zealand. And joining us to talk about it, to talk all things rugby league and the Warriors this season, is the CEO of the Warriors, George Andrew McFadden, who's the General Manager of Recruitment, Development and Pathways. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time and coming into our beautiful studio as well. And congratulations on this deal. How good is this?
Yeah, it's outstanding, and welcome aboard. To you guys, SENZ, to Hutchie and everyone, all your team. It's a privilege to be in partnership as we take sport, to the nation, and you guys do it so well. When we partner up with new or existing partners in terms of renewal, we always look at what benefit we can do for each other, and I just feel like there's a huge opportunity for both parties to really enjoy this partnership, grow the listener base, grow the engagement, and have a lot of fun at Mount Smart with the One New Zealand Warriors.
We're so excited for this, aren't we, Beef? Because as we mentioned, that was your favourite thing to do last year when the Warriors actually returned, and this is the true homecoming season, was getting out and watching some games live at Mount Smart.
Yeah, absolutely on that. The first one was it was an amazing atmosphere out there, wasn't it? The first one was like nothing else, and we were lucky enough to do a couple of our Friday broadcasts from out there. So no, it was highly entertaining, and you've obviously already put your hand up thinking that you'll be able to get out there a little bit this time, even though you don't work Fridays.
Oh, come on, babe. I do still work Fridays. I will be out there so long as it is not on a Sunday. But we're going to be able to connect directly with you, the fans across New Zealand, across both sides of the Tasman as well. But thank you. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for signing this partnership as well. It is fantastic to be able to connect with you, connect with the club. We're going to get back to this very shortly, but we also need to say congratulations. The Karaka Million, you won that over the weekend as well. That is absolutely phenomenal. You must be riding a high too.
Yeah, well, I've just sobered up really. It's been a big couple of days, been a lot of fun with some mates that are in the horse as well, but just, it's spectacular to be part of the racing industry, and to share in that with some really good friends is something that makes it quite special, but a lot of fun. Yeah.
For you, Andrew, what's it like being back at the Warriors, pulling on those club colours again?
Yeah, look, I'm very excited to be back, to be honest with you. It was an opportunity that came up a bit out of the blue, but one I couldn't pass up, and I've been back for about 3 months now, and I'm just happy to be, I call it home.
Mate, and obviously talking about the new role, and it's quite a mouthful, and Kirst actually got it all out, but what's the focus on that? Obviously, this is a land that can produce rugby league players and rugby players. Obviously, is that the focus?
Yeah, definitely. It's taken a real hit the last 3 years with COVID and not having a presence here in New Zealand with our NRL side, but we are certainly working very hard to make sure we've got a real steady flow of great young juniors coming through, because we know in history tells us that the great Warriors teams of the past that have made grand finals have a huge representation from the local league here. So it's a big priority for us.
Because from a team point of view, obviously the 20s doesn't happen anymore, does it, as far as what sort of age group sides are you sort of putting together?
So we've got our inaugural SG Ball squad, which is an under-19 side. They're actually kicking off in 2 weeks. It's a short season. And then, we've got our own New South Wales Cup team this year, our reserve grade side as well. So, in the future, we'll get a Jersey Fleet side, which is under 21s.
Yep.
So there's going to be huge amounts of opportunity for our local juniors.
We've got a number of questions coming in. Cam, what makes you so excited for the 2023 season?
Look, I think just what Cappy was touching on. This is the first time in a long time we've been able to really connect the whole club through internally to externally, to be back in our own fan base. We've lived so temporary over the last few years, and just to walk down the street, the players and the coaches being acknowledged by their own fans, having their home ground, having their own gym and everything, is going to make a hell of a difference. And just, I'm really excited about these young kids kicking off their careers. You're all there at some stage or another in your own professional career, and it's an exciting time for them and their families. And Cappy and the guys have put a lot of work into this. So we've got a plan over the next few years, which for both men and women, there'll be, a jumper to be worn. If you put in the hard work and want to represent New Zealand, you can do that through the Warriors in the NRL. So we're very excited about the plan ahead.
Chris has sent in a message on the text line 8833. Can Cameron George please confirm if this is indeed the Warriors' year?
Oh, it's going to be a year of a lot of ups, not many downs. I really think that we, Cappy can touch on it as well. Webby has done an amazing job with his team around him to reset the club within the locker room and so on. And the players that the guys have brought in and married them up with the existing crew is a really good mixture of experience and youth, energy, and just a real big excitement and buzz amongst it. So the key is starting well, and the boys are primed. They're training hard. They're in good condition. And Webby said something to me the other day. It really stands out. They're rugby league fit opposed to just being fit, and that's putting a hard edge on them. And I think that's going to be something that will make this year a lot of fun for our fans.
Keep sending through your questions because we love having your interaction. 8833 is the number to text in. But Cappy, what have you noticed in the last 3 months?
Look, I think you can see the energy mainly. You can see, I was in camp with the Warriors group probably 12 to 18 months ago now, and you could see it really wearing on a lot of them, and it was tough. We did it for 8 weeks. They did it for 3 years. And I know how tough it was on us. So, seeing them back here, back at home, where they're from, and you can see they've just got a real energy around them. It's been tough, and but hopefully that'll give them some real steel and resilience going forward.
Talking about obviously Andrew Webster, the new coach, the boys responded well. Obviously, you said he's noticed an edge about them. The boys are piling in and following him along.
The best thing about Webby and Cappy coming back is they wanted to come back. They want to be here. They want to be here for years and years and years. It's not a stepping stone to anything. What they want to do is this year be a stepping stone to success for a long time. Webby's seen good, bad, and different. He's had a good bit of luck over the last few years, and he's brought his own little way to coach here. He's not, being a replica of Ivan Clear or anything like that. He's doing his own thing, and I think we're seeing, over time he's got to get a few bruises on him, no doubt, but I think we're seeing a good young coach really coming to his own. He's owning his messaging. He's implementing his own systems, and he's also, he knows what was good in the past year, and he's bringing that back in as well. So, having Cappy in the same breath coming back, we've just got people that want to be here and want to take the club to another level, and it's coming all through the club now.
And we haven't seen anything about 3 or 4 o'clock missions around Auckland City as far as towing tankers or anything like that. The boys just doing their own training at regular hours, or are you just keeping your hard work to yourselves?
No, they've done a few interesting little things. I think a couple of weeks ago before Christmas, they left the stadium at 4 o'clock in the morning and went to all different parts of Auckland by foot, and they had to watch an iPad of what the history of that particular location was they were at, jog on to the next part, and when they come back they had to sit an exam and remember everything and so on. But there was a lot of fun with that as well. But in their own way, they've been doing a shitload of work on the field that's got them really steel-like in terms of their fitness at this point in time.
There's some new faces that have come into the Warriors environments, the Dylan Walkers, Tamati Martin, obviously Chance Nickel-Clockstad back. What sort of impression have you got from these guys?
Yeah, look, I think what probably sums up all those guys is they're all tough. They all bring an edge. I was lucky enough to coach Chance for 3 years in Canberra while he was there, and he added a huge amount to our group. He comes back a much better player this time. Mitch Barnett, as you said, Tamati Martin, along with all the current crop. Yeah. I think there's particularly in our forward pack, there's a real toughness, and that's where it's always won and lost mostly.
And while we're on that, obviously Tohu's been confirmed as the captain. The obvious rollover, obviously, get over his serious injury from a year ago. He'll be better and stronger.
He's a special human, Tohu, and he means a lot to the club, and his family, do a lot around the club as well. But the one thing that people probably wouldn't know, it wasn't just a gift to him. He actually sat down with Webby at the start of the pre-season and said, I don't want the captaincy unless I earn it off you. So he said, you're a new coach. I want you to watch me. I want you to watch me interact with the players, see if I got their respect, and had to tick a lot of boxes. And he put that challenge to Webby. And, from my experience with Tohu, he was always going to be ticked off as a captain. Yeah. But in his own mind, he didn't want it unless the coach thought he was the best person to lead this team. And that's a credit to him, and that's the style of leader he is.
This is the Run Home on SENZ with Kirsten Beeve and a couple of very special guests in studio from the One New Zealand Warriors, the CEO Cameron George and Andrew McFadden, the General Manager of Recruitment, Development and Pathways. And we are celebrating because today the One New Zealand Warriors and SENZ have formed a brand new partnership. We are the club's official radio partner right here in New Zealand, and we're so excited to deliver you some amazing content this year, 2023. Cam, over the off-season, you've signed a lot of club legends on. Tell us what the likes of Wairangi Korpu and Monty Beetham and these guys are going to be doing.
Plenty. So, look, the Mad Butcher is our, obviously, number 19 Warrior and our leading ambassador and does a lot of work. But a real connection piece about us being back here and something that I learned a lot about while we were away is making sure you're connected with your past. And we have a lot of good people, and we identified some that really do carry the traits that we want to see on the field day in, day out, and off the field in the office and training and so on. So Wairangi, from a cultural aspect, we've done a lot of work with that in the last 12 months in particular, and he's going to be our ambassador in that space and really make sure that we are doing what we should be doing, when we should be doing it, and really educating the club across the board about the best cultural practices we should have and knowledge that we should have. And then in a line with that is, Monty Beetham, he's in the office all the time. He's doing some corporate work for us and helping out with some young kids, and Owen Gutenbill, and we've got Kevin Campion in Australia. So each player I just rattled off there carry the traits that we want to see in our footy team, and that's, competitive, win at all costs and, not lie down. And that's what we want to instill through all the organisation, and they're just great people to have around as well. Bit of fun. And
they're obviously well connected or well respected, I guess, throughout the entire country, not just Auckland. And you're getting a few games outside of Auckland. Have you got any other sort of plans to get the boys out and about as far as New Zealand goes?
In line with those games that are around, so we're going to Christchurch for a trial game against Melbourne, and then Wellington for our first game, which will be a blockbuster there at the stadium, and really looking forward to that. And we'll get involved in the community, and then we're off to Napier, I think, the end of May to play the Broncos. So again, we'll do some cool stuff down there, and then we play the Tigers in Hamilton, which is their home game. But
beautiful.
We certainly won't miss the opportunity to to get involved in the community there as well. And we're very conscious that they've missed out on live rugby league at the NRL level for many years, and really challenging clubs to continue thinking about bringing their games here, whether it's against us or not, doesn't matter. Just let's grow sport and participation in this country.
Did you have positive feedback about that from different clubs in Australia about bringing games here?
Yeah, look, some just couldn't do it because of their commitments, and I get that. I really, I feel like we could have got more assistance from the NRL and everyone, and just said, let's get some games over there, let's get some content, because we're really, it's a rebirth of rugby league here.
We're craving it.
Exactly, and it's great. We've got juniors and all that sort of thing kicking off again, but we've got to stimulate rugby league, and we've got to really inspire people to get out and follow it and see their teams. Not everyone goes to the Warriors, we understand that. So they could have encouraged other clubs to do it.
Yeah.
The one challenge for us this year was the World Cup that's going to be on here in New Zealand. It takes a lot of stadiums out of play, which caused a little bit of havoc. But anyway, we'll keep working on it for the next year or two.
Well, fingers crossed that we'll get some more matches here, some more NRL teams. A question has come in on the text line from Simon. It's directed at Cameron, but it may be a question for you, Cappy. Is there any money in the pot for a prop as soon as the right one becomes available? And did you ever approach Marty Tapau?
Look, I'll be honest, we are looking for an experienced forward at the moment. Obviously, we lost Ben Murdoch-Masila a couple of weeks ago for personal reasons, and we need to replace that experience. So, look, Marty Tapau, certainly was in conversation, but we didn't go too much further on that. We've got some irons in the fire there. Hopefully, we've got something to bring Warriors fans pretty soon. But we're also conscious that, as I said before, we want to promote our younger players as well. We know we have to have a balance in our squad, but we certainly don't want to, recruit over the top of our juniors as well. We've got to give them a chance to get experience. It's always a balance, but it's certainly in the back of our mind.
Isn't it funny now that you probably years ago as a recruitment man, you could have probably put your feet up by December and gone, well, my job's done for the year, good luck. But the NRL just seems to keep progressing? And I know there's a deadline at some stage during the season, but it seems to be ever evolving, the recruitment.
It's forever moving, yeah. It's very fluid, and you've got to be ready to go at all times. Things change very quickly, and so I'm not sure when I'll be taking my holidays at this stage.
Never.
How does it work? Are you sort of alerted to the fact that someone may not be happy in their contract? Does everyone sort of know at the same time, or do other people get the heads up over some of the other clubs? How does it all work behind the scenes?
Oh, you get your information from everywhere, and it comes at different times and all sorts of things. So, managers are very active and clever, and so you've got to be ready for anything.
As someone that is looking at development and pathways, how do you think Beaver truly would have gone in rugby league?
Cursed. I mean, I still haven't
I'm
given
asking
up.
Cappy here.
Yeah,
He still hasn't given up on his dream.
I got something. How we talked about ambassadors.
Yes.
And we've got the cultural ambassador. We've got other traits that we look for in everyone, and he would be the social ambassador day in, day out. And I'd be very proud to align him to that responsibility at any stage.
I'm probably available, to be fair. I'm obviously a very serious media journalist too, so my next question is around a couple of the recruitments. Where's Tamaiti Martin? Where's he been training? Has he been in the halves with Sean, or is he still a fullback option, you think?
No, he's been training in the halves with Sean.
Yep.
We've got Charles Nickel-Cogstadt there, who's Webby's very happy with. He'll be starting the season there. And Tamaiti and Sean are there, but there's a couple of good young kids there. Ronald Volkman and Luke Metcalf there that have really putting some pressure on. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Be good to have some good depth there, won't it?
It's certainly as you know, depth is critical to driving performance. You need that competition, particularly internally, and we've certainly got that.
Well, thank you so much for both coming into the studio and talking to us. We appreciate it so much. We know you would have had to battle traffic to come into our studios, but it's been awesome having you on the program, and hopefully you'll want to come back on every single week during the season. Yeah,
we will. We'll send Webby in. We'll come when we win, and Webby can come when we get beat. But I just want to thank you guys, and SENZ. It's great. It's great. We're excited about the partnership, and your listeners will get a lot out of it because we all love sport. We just want this country to enjoy our partnership, and we'll bring some cool things to the table.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and get home safe. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad. Thanks for coming in, Cappy.
No worries. I'm just happy that Cameron didn't make me wait in the car. So
it would have been a long way. You guys were here very promptly, I should say, half an hour early. Much better than my co-host and his timing.
Oh. That's another shot across the bow, mate.
It's relentless, mate. I'll get this
Day one as well.
We go till 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming in. That is Cameron George, the CEO of the Warriors, and Andrew McFadden, the GM of Recruitment Development and Pathways. Lucky to have them in studio. We'll be back right after News and Sport.